The snow crunched under expensive Italian dress shoes as Vinny stepped out of the SUV. Why was this place so easy to find? Floyd, Vinny's business partner, said as he looked at the warehouse. Vinny turned to look at the other man. Are you serious? He asked, his hand itching to smack the man. Floyd blinked a couple of times before Vinny smacked him. The assault was quick, Vinny snapping back into place before Floyd could even react. Wow, world's greatest boss. How your men haven't killed you in your sleep will forever remain a mystery to me, said a voice. Turning his attention to the warehouse, Vinny watched his brother make his way over to him. Paulie, damn man, you're getting old, Vinny said as his brother stopped a few feet from him. Shut up and get your ass inside. A photo of the two of us is worth about $1 billion easy, Paulie said, turning back to the building. Doing as his brother said, Vinny and his men made their way into the building. Once they were inside, Paulie pulled the other man into him and wrapped his brother up in a hug. I'm glad you finally came to your senses, Paulie whispered. Ah, don't even start with that. You'll fuck around and start another war, Vinny said with a laugh. The men patted each other's backs before Paulie pulled back and took his little brother's face in his hands. Welcome home, Paulie said before pressing a kiss to each of his brother's cheeks. Our family's complete, Paulie yelled as he turned to face the men working in the warehouse. The men cheered as the LaVines brothers held their hands up victoriously. After basking in the cheers for a moment, Paulie led his brother up to his office where Paula and Mikey were waiting. Uncle Vinny, Paula said as she shot up from the couch and rushed over to her uncle. Vinny laughed as he wrapped his niece up in a hug. How's my favorite niece? Vinny asked, earning an eye roll from Paula. I'm your only niece, she said, pulling back from the embrace. No, I have nieces from my wife's side too, Vinny pointed out. Paula shook her head. Her uncle was full of shit, and they both knew it. Vinny and his wife never spoke to her side of the family. Turning his attention to Mikey, Vinny squinted as he looked at the younger version of his brother. Mikey? Vinny asked as he looked from his nephew to his brother, and then back again. In the flesh. He just came back to us a couple of days ago. Paulie explained, looking at his son with pride and love. Oh my gosh, if I were one for pictures, I would want a photo of this moment. Vinny said, grabbing hold of his nephew's face. Paulie and Vinny didn't do photos. Both Mikey and Paula had Instagrams that they updated regularly, but never once had Paulie appeared in any of their photos. Paula didn't even have a photo of her father in her personal photos. The last man who attempted to photograph Vinny now has a final resting place at the bottom of a lake. No photos are necessary. I'll remember this moment forever, Paulie said, tapping his temple. The LaVines sat around Paulie's desk and Paulie and Vinny began explaining their plan. Last year, one of Vinny's men was in need of a kidney and Paulie had a contact who could get him organs stat. So, swallowing his pride, Vinny called around and found his brother's number. It took Vinny 3 days just to call because he feared his brother wouldn't answer. But luckily Paulie did answer, and that night he got on a flight to bring his brother the organ. So after the men got to talking and they realized they didn't even remember why they were fighting, together we've got the whole country covered, Paulie pointed out during their phone call. So the brothers continued to talk and finally, Vinny found the time to come see his brother. So how do we celebrate this monumental moment? Paula asked. Vinny smiled. With a party and wine. Lots and lots of wine, he said. Whipping out her phone, Paula called up the catering crew while Mikey began calling up friends. If there was one thing the LaVines family loved, it was a good party. Enjoyed this story? Want to read some of these LGBT stories? Then visit the royalbluenetwork.lgbt today.